Well, hello, everyone. Good evening. It is Tuesday evening, and you guys all know what that means. It is time for Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable. I am Nick Rosario, Master and Commander, I guess. We'll call it that. Never saw the movie, but whatever. Anyways, let us move on. Of course, am never alone, although we are -1 this week. Delilah Crespo could not be with us. She's handling some work things and will not join us, but that's okay because we are still here and we love Delilah and we'll catch her next time. But hey, I'm here again with two of my partners. And as always, it's fun to talk to them. So let's start with the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who, I don't know, just likes to sit there and make jokes and eat food and call himself Fingers. So, Anthony Handy, ladies and gentlemen. Anthony, how we doing, buddy? How's it going?
I had to look around like, who you talk about the man, the myth? Almost got a spit take out of Tina. Almost got a spit take. I'm doing, man. Work is kicking my butt. I'm really, I started the whole very happy to be here bit on a whim because that's my favorite movie, Coming to America.
Right.
But seriously, lately, Tuesday nights, I have been anything other than work. I am very happy to be here. I'm so happy. I'm so happy I forgot I had an African accent. It's just how happy I am. I do not want to go to Wakanda or Zamunda. I just want some hot chocolate and I just would like some hot chocolate and a side of bison. That is it. On go with somebody. Challenge.
Well, there it is. Fantastic. There you go. Wakanda forever. And of course, Tina Winter. And Tina, how you doing? I understand. And again, I little under the weather. Maybe you're having one of those days. So again, we'll try to lift your spirits. Try to get right. Keep you awake, lift your spirits, all that fun stuff. Other than that, how you doing tonight, Tina? How's it going?
I haven't stopped smiling since that field goal. So I'm doing good.
Yes. Yeah, no. Yeah, we're gonna get into that in just a moment. Yeah. Tina's very happy about something that happened this past weekend. I can't imagine what, but all right. But yeah, so again, yeah, exactly. Not at all. So again, this is the round table. We are going to talk some football, but as always, every game starts with a coin toss. All right, everyone. So, of course, we've just finished week 10 of the NFL season. And as always, we're going to do our team recaps. And again, not trying to bring anybody down, but given that the three of us are on here, one of these things was not like the other, and one of the teams of ours lost. So we're going to start with him just because Tina and I are feeling happy this week.
You don't have to call it out. You don't have to call it ours. I mean, I realize we're doing the whole collective here. Y'all, I don't even wish this on neither one of y'all and Delilah and John in the background producing. Again, okay, there was a sense of irony last week when Atlanta lost to a team quarterbacked by a man who 5 days prior to kickoff was playing someplace else. So that means the man showed up, learned enough of the playbook to beat this team who had most of their pieces intact. The irony of that happening last week, the only thing that could make that more ironic is for that same team that lost to turn around and lose to the team that the man that beat them last week came from. Who do that? Who do that? Where they do that at? I swear to God, if it weren't for the dogs, if it weren't for the dogs doing what the dogs are doing right now, I'd probably stand on an overpass somewhere over I-40 with my shirt ripped off, and my face painted like Heath Ledger, going, "What happened? Did you know what I'm saying?" Like I would be losing my ever-loving mind. I have been a Falcons fan for as long as I can remember. I played for a little league team called the Falcons that has a better win-loss record in the 7 or 8 years that I played than this team has had in the last 7 or 8 years, and we didn't understand the fundamentals of football. We were just running around bumping into each other. That was it. And these guys who get paid, I want one or two jobs I want when I grow up. I either want to be an SEC head coach or I want to be an NFL player for the Falcons. The reason I say SEC head coach is just because even if I suck and I get fired, I'm still gonna get my full paycheck. $78 million. Where they do that at?
Hey, Kirby Smart's a genius. You negotiated a contract, right? It's awesome. Get your money, son.
No. I'm not talking about Kirby Smart. I'm talking about the guy that got fired. The team, he was so, I know we pro football, but I'm on a rant right now. They decided on Thursday they were going to fire this man. That means they let this man come to work on Thursday. They let him come to work on Thursday. They let him get on the team plane on Friday. I don't know if they traveled or not. I can't remember. No, it wasn't a travel. They let him show up on Friday, run practice. They let him show up early Saturday morning, do all the stuff that coaches do, coach the game, win the game. That's the messed up part. He won the game. And then they fired him. And then they said, yeah, you suck. We don't want you to work here anymore. Effective immediately, clean out your locker. And here's a check for $78 million. But back to Atlanta. Y'all suck. I swear for the Lord, Arthur Smith, Arthur Blank, Mr. Blank, you know what? Mr. Blank, I'm tired of Arthur Smith on the sidelines looking like that one kid that gets picked on in school and always looks confused about why he's getting picked on because it is so horrendously obvious. The haircut, the mustache, the way that I don't know. Man's just looked like he had his wife holding the vacuum cleaner over his head while she ran the scissors through his hair and then brushed it down and said, there you go, baby. Have a good day at work. Go be a winner. And then did you win today? No, we didn't win today. That's all right. You still my winner with your winner haircut.
All righty.
Tired. I am tired. I'm so tired. I'm more tired of the Falcons than I am of my damn job. And I'm on my job 50 hours a week. I ain't been to a Falcons game, never before in my life. And I'm tired of the damn Falcons. The Falcons is the only team I know that you could give them a 400-yard head start and they'll still lose in the last yard. I'm done.
Oh, you sure? I mean, nothing else? You want to?
Wow.
Right. Nothing else?
I'm gonna stop it. It's gonna be a whole hour, so that's where I'm gonna stop. Another 45 seconds. We'd have got a message in the private chat going, "Okay, Handy, wrap it up."
No, never, my friend. We would never silence you. Not that we could, anyways. But hey,
I was talking about the producer.
No, I know. No, I just. But hey, here's a shining light for you, Handy. I can honestly tell you're not one of the 5 worst offenses in the NFL, so you have that going for you, my friend. How about that?
That means something. We still not going to the Super Bowl. And can I just say, I can say this because we're getting closer. It's November, so Black History Month is 3 months away. As a card-carrying member of the African American nation, shining lights tend to scare us, especially when it's dark out, because that normally means we getting pulled over. So I'm just saying. You could give me a dangly fish or something. I don't know.
Oh man, I love it. No, okay. No, all right. We'll move on, Andy. We'll let you, rest for a moment, collect your thoughts. Maybe eat some of your chicken wings or whatever you got in front of you, and you'll be all right.
I haven't ordered them yet. I was going to order them to have them delivered. I was going to order them and have them. I've actually decided to start getting the food after the show, just cause.
Oh. Okay, fair enough.
I'm messing around and choke myself trying to eat an 18-piece during Tina's segment.
Sure, absolutely. Oh yeah, no.
Tina come back and this was Top Corners with Tina, and we're back.
Oh, right, and show there you go. All right. Well, Tina, the aforementioned Tina, Denver, your Broncos pulled out an exciting one on Sunday. Give us everything you want to about that game and how happy you truly are. Let's hear it.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Josh Allen and the turf man on the field. Because without those two, and the defensive guy that got called for the PI in the last 35 seconds of the game. Because seriously, neither team, I swear, neither team could take advantage of what they were doing. our defense kept us in that game. And the numbers on the offense aren't bad. They're not bad, but it just, good Lord, that offensive line came back to try and snap us from the jaws of victory. I swear, every other play it was holding, false start, McFlinchy started all over again. So, I'm very, very happy. Glad we won that game. I really, really am. It was nice to have our third in a row. There's still problems with the team. We're just going to be honest about that. But Dobbs scares me now. Yeah, I am full on. Sean, I 100% agree with you. I think we need to have Mims over a wide receiver, but for some reason they're not doing it. They're keeping him. He's in the lineup. He's just not getting balls tossed at him. So there was 2 last night that I was like, one more tackle and he was going to break and he would have been down. So it was nice. Javonte ran well. Our runs was doing pretty good. And as Handy said, the 10 toes tiptoe along the back line that Sutton had is according to the metrics, that had a 3.2% chance of being good. It is the smallest percentage there's been on a wide receiver catch since they've started looking at this stuff. So, hats off to Sutton. We couldn't see it from the angle. Nobody could really see what he did unless you were there. And that was a thing of beauty. But, Russ had good numbers. Our run defense was atrocious. Murray and Cook took us for, let's see what I have in here.
All right.
Almost 180 yards between the 2 of them. So we got to fix the run defense. So all those people out there, I didn't drink the Kool-Aid. I don't think the Broncos are going to the playoffs or the Super Bowl, but it was a damn good game. And we'll probably talk about the other aspect of what this game kind of made the Bills think about. So that's where I'm at. Russ is going to be there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and again, calling it down. Broncos make the playoffs, he says. Calling it down.
I don't think so. Not based on the schedule that's coming up. We still have to play the Chargers twice. We have to play the Raiders again. And I think there's few other good teams in there that we'd need to win. I think somebody added it up. Like we'd have to go 10-1 in the next. So 7 out of the next 8 games, we'd have to win 7 games.
Okay, right. So they had 10 and whatever 7.
Yep. So we'll see. There's some good teams in there. So, but I do think this, because it's been 3 games in a row, kind of like what I said, like a lot of people weren't talking about it in the national media, was how injured our defense was and how badly injured our secondary was. So that's why you have a 70-20 game with Miami. Yeah. So I think people are going to have to start paying attention to us and having to, but that also means our defense has to step back up too again. So that Jaquan McMillan, when he punched that ball out, he literally stripped the ball out of Cook's hands on the first drive. Yeah. I was like, all right, game on.
And it certainly was. I mean, it was a cool, anytime, and that's the thing, is this was one of 5 games, that was decided by a field goal in the last, moments. So,
6.
Crazy weekend.
6 total.
It was a 6. Was it 6? Okay, 6 total.
Yeah.
Nuts. So
decided by field goal.
Yeah, crazy, right? Like it's just so nuts. But a great win for the Broncos. Again, little feather in the cap. Buffalo on the slide. Yeah, damn kickers. You're right. You got it right. It's all those damn kickers. But again, I too, my team actually had a victory on Thursday night. And again, I wasn't like overly excited. I had hoped that we would pull out this victory against Carolina. I was working the game, so I was in Soldier Field, like trying to listen and see what I could see, and And there wasn't a lot. There wasn't a lot to necessarily cheer for. But yes, Sean, that is correct. This year, Bears are 2-0 on Thursday nights. Maybe we should play more Thursday night games. I don't know, because that seems to be Sundays we don't seem to do well. But hell, Thursday night we're 2-0. What can you do? But yeah, it's about what I expected. I mean, 100%. I know we've talked a little bit about, but Tyson Bagent is 2-2 as a starter, which is probably right. I mean, the guy, everybody after that first week was like, "Oh, this kid's incredible." And yes. Tyson Bagent showed some flashes. He showed you some things, but he's also showed you that he is definitely a rookie. There was a couple games or the couple throws last week where it's like he thought he had a window, and the NFL defensive back said, "Yeah, son, you don't have anything," and just jumped right in front of the receiver and grabbed the ball and went the other way. So things he's going to learn. Like, again, I'm fine with what Tyson Bagent did in terms of his play. Like, you expect that. The kids, again, it's not about necessarily coming from a Division II school, but again, the NFL game is faster. These guys are better, and he's learning it. He's finding that out. But he did what he could. We got the victory. We're 3-7 going into this Week 11 matchup with the Lions. I'm just hoping we don't get smashed. The Lions are looking like one of the best teams in the NFC right now, and I can only hope that, if Fields does come back, we at least look competitive. The defense has actually started to step up, and I do think that Montez Sweat made a difference a little bit in that game, and I hope he continues to, because, drawing double teams and drawing guys out opens up other guys to do things, and I think that's you saw that a little bit in what happened on Thursday night, because really, the defense didn't play badly. We only gave up 13 points. We just got to score more. I mean, honestly, it's still the NFL. These are professionals. Yeah, I know, Sean. We know that's your boy. Washington at a fire sale. We took advantage of that. So, and we got him the extension for 4 years, so we're paying him handsomely to stay there for the next 4 years. So, yeah, I expect a lot from Montez Sweat, and I hope that in the coming weeks he will deliver, my friend. But yeah, again, Justin Fields comes back. It looks like he practiced today, or he practiced yesterday. So, again, hopefully the Bears can at least, get on some kind of something. Try not to finish the season. We've already tried our win total from last year, so can't get any worse. So hopefully it gets better. But yeah, Bears win, go on to Detroit next. So that's our team recaps for this week. Let's go ahead and get into one of the big, and here's the surprise I'm going to throw at you guys, because some people might, and I was floored when I read this. Well, I mean, not the firing of Ken Dorsey. We all know Ken Dorsey of the Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator was fired by Buffalo after last night's loss. But before last week, did you guys know that Buffalo had the number 2 ranked offense in the NFL before last night's game?
I did not, sir.
Yeah, I was floored to read that. And the reason why I kind of shake my head then, and Tina, I have to, you mentioned it in our group chat earlier. Can you say scapegoat? Like,
absolutely,
I get it.
100%.
Your team is 5-5 right now, but you had the second-ranked offense going into Monday night's game, and you want to fire the offensive coordinator when Josh Allen has 11 interceptions?
Because they can't fire the quarterback. Because they can't fire the quarterback.
That's true. That's very true.
And I said it ever from the beginning, because a friend of mine was at Wyoming when he was their quarterback, and she liked him, and she wanted the Broncos to take him, and we could have taken him, but we didn't. We took Pat Surtain instead. So, which I don't care what anybody says. I don't care who's there, whatever's going on. I'm fine with PS2. That's fine. Sure. But I've seen it through like the first couple of years. The risk wasn't worth the reward you were getting. And it looked like he started to turn it around a little bit, but I honestly think he's Favre 2.0. High reward with a high risk. It's a numbers game. And if they can get the points on the board, then it's okay. It doesn't matter that he throws an interception or 2 a game. Right. But 100% Dorsey was the scapegoat. Now, the one thing I will say about Dorsey, and somebody I saw this listening to ESPN earlier, was their running game was working. it was working very well with us. And they kind of stopped it and they kept going for throwing the ball, but they couldn't get Diggs open. Surtain had him, was like a blanket on him. He wasn't going anywhere. So I don't know why they kept forcing the passes, but they did. I mean, like 20-yard runs these guys would have. Cook opened us up. Latavius Murray was running straight up. And that's one tall boy.
Cook even got y'all with a self-fumble recovery. He still got about 10, 15 yards on that.
Like we talked about it. He had a gut. Sorry, stop myself. He had a magnet in that ball. There is no way that ball hits the ground the way it does and pops right back into his hands.
Not only that, but right back, like he catches it in stride. It doesn't bounce back behind him or off to the side. It just kind of bounces and hangs enough for him to catch
it. Yeah. Like, there couldn't have been somebody. It's almost like God came in and went, "This is yours."
They do that play up. That's in the playbook.
Excuse me, you jot your ball, Coach Jones.
They play it. They play that. That's on Tuesday. They implement that play where the ball bounces back to you and you keep running. That's how they do that. You know, that's playing that way. Tina, come on.
No, but crazy stuff like that from Mahomes, not from a running back of the ball.
Exactly.
So,
but again, they fired Dorsey, and so now that made me think about, like I said, some of the worst offenses in the NFL, because looking at Buffalo being the second best going into yesterday's game, I'm like, man. So I looked into who the 5 worst offenses are in the NFL. So we're going to have a little fun with this and go through this list. Handy, would you be surprised to know that the Giants of New York are ranked number 32 in offense? Does that surprise you at all, Mr. Handy?
It does not. I mean, excuse me, did you not see the game this past Sunday?
I'm sure. I watched
it all. I think the couple times they scored, they were surprised. Like, oh, we've scored for real?
Well, yes. Obviously, Tommy DeVito, the rookie from Illinois, started the game. Obviously, exactly. Is that the Tommy DeVito from the not the Soprano, the Jersey Boys? The guy who was in the group 4 seasons, right? The Tommy DeVito, he plays quarterback. Guy's about 80 years old. But anyway,
did you see when they flashed to his family in the stands? I forgot what he made some big play, and the camera panned to his family, and it was exactly the kind of family I thought it was going to be. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it looked like an American Italian family from Jersey. You know what I mean? Like the dad got the hair. He's digging in his pocket, looking up at the camera like, I better not be on the camera. You know mom's doing this. Kid looks totally interested in the phone. I was like, oh my God, this is, and they just got done telling his whole life story, which took like 9 seconds.
Yeah.
They looked exactly like what I expected.
That's hilarious. I didn't see that, so that's actually kind of funny, because I'm sure, like, you think about it, like, that's kind of a stereotypical, Anthony described the stereotypical Italian family that you see from Jersey. The kids get this, hey, we got to go see Junior play on Sunday. Let's go over there. Let's go to football game and let's go see it. Exactly, right?
Come on, Pop. You know I was going on with the boys tonight. Going with the boys out for what? For what? You're going with us tonight. That's what we're doing. We're going to go support your brother.
Yeah, so no, I just yeah. So again, the Giants they're 2-8. There's really not much hope there for them. The division they play, like Sean put up, they've been outscored by Dallas by 72 points. Like, what in the blue hell is that? So yeah, no hope for them. But then, Tina, I think you will find this next team who is ranked 31st in offense, because there is hope. They play Washington this week. Good, Sean. You're a funny guy. I know, man. Come on, Sean. You can't give up on your boy Sam Howell yet. They should beat the Giants by like 15 or 16, bro. Come on. That should be a huge victory for you guys this week, the way New York is playing.
Left
But
hand
Tina,
up.
your favorite. Oh, go ahead. What's up? Yeah, left hand up. There you go. Give it to him, Andy. Give it to him. I don't remember the fight song. I'm not going to try and sing it. Never mind.
Power.
But there you go. Tina, your
ahead.
favorite
I'm sorry,
coach.
I couldn't resist. I had to do it. All right, sorry. Oops.
Your favorite ex-coach, who is now the offensive coordinator of New York, is the 31st ranked defense. And isn't that just fun? You know, knowing you lost Aaron Rodgers, knowing that you had to go back to Zach Wilson, and you've got the second worst offense in the NFL. Like, doesn't that just make you happy, Tina?
And you lost to the team that just fired their head coach 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
that is
yeah.
correct.
I am. Like, I've been saying it the whole time. Like, Hackett is not good. Like, there's just, he can't teach his system. And this is, again, like, yeah, my coach spouted his mouth off a little too early, and we lost to them. But again, I'm going to go back to our defense wasn't good that game. Like, we weren't playing well. But yeah, I mean, the Jets, they're not doing well with Zach. There's a reason the Jets brought in Aaron Rodgers. Now, did you also hear Aaron Rodgers is talking like he's going to try and make it back about mid-December, so he
Will it
can
matter? They
play
might
the
be out of it
last
by
couple.
then.
Well,
Who cares?
I mean, my answer to that is, yeah, go ahead and break that and pop that Achilles heel again.
Sure. Come on back, Aaron. We'll tackle you again, and you'll be out in 4 plays. No big deal. Just yeah, it's all good.
Did y'all see
You,
him?
get, you
The
got some
Jets
money.
play the Bills this week.
Did
Yeah,
y'all
I
see
saw
Aaron
that.
pointed with the thing on his face? Like, what the hell is that? Did he get hit by a flying mushroom or something?
What?
See that.
He had
Oh,
something.
God.
He had one of those things on his eye, like when they put the. It's like a rubber, like
Eye
it's got a
patch?
rubber seal on it. Yeah, and then it's got the
Yeah.
metal grate on the top of it, just like
Oh,
the
the
eye
little
patch.
metal grate that they put over the patch. Right. I've seen those. Right. Exactly.
Oh, Lord.
Pirate. What do you say?
No.
Pirate breakfast? You're hilarious. With Sean. Thank you, Sean.
I'm lucky I
Appreciate it.
didn't see that one. I would have been
Pirate
making
breakfast.
comments if I'd seen that patch on his eye.
Yeah, I didn't see that
Yeah,
either. That's crazy.
it's and that I'm not. I would have thought they would have been a little bit higher. I'm not gonna lie, that their offense was a little bit higher because they have been able to score some
Yeah.
touchdowns and things, but in a way, it doesn't surprise me because everyone knows how I feel about Hackett.
Yeah.
So, or as I like to call him, Hatchet.
There you go, Hackett. He certainly took a hatchet to your Broncos last year, that's for sure. But that's another story for another time. But and then of course you may not be surprised to find out that of course my beloved Bears were number 30 as far as also the third worst offense in the NFL. Which, yeah, given the way we've played this year, that doesn't surprise me in the least bit. I mean, we've had a couple of glimpses, and Justin had a couple of good games, but for the most part, we've just fallen apart. It seems like. So I hope that we can find a way to get something going against Detroit, even if we're a 10-point underdog. So yeah, I just hope that we can stay in the game and be competitive. Another one that's interesting, of course, because there's a lot of talk around this team and their head coach, and of course that's the New England Patriots, who are 29 in defense or offense in the NFL with their 2-8 record. Like, we were talking about it last week about coaches and about Belichick being on the hot seat, but Bill O'Brien, did we expect more from Bill in this position? Going back to an offensive coordinator and after being a head coach, and is it just Mac? Is it Mac Jones? Does this all fall on Mac Jones, guys, or is this just the system or whatever? But like New England is just falling apart, and it just looks bad there. Like I said, they're 2-8. They got nothing going for them whatsoever, and their quarterback play is atrocious. What do they do with that?
Is it the quarterback or is it the quarterback coach that's not been able to motivate or train or I don't know. I don't follow college very well, so I don't know like how good are they trying to get bad habits he picked up in college? Like, or did the scouts just simply overvalue him? Like, what round did he go in the draft?
Oh crap! I'm not 100%. I don't remember 100% where Mac Jones went.
I don't think he was in like one of the top 3 rounds. He was in a later round,
No,
right?
maybe. Well, no, wait, Mac Jones?
Yeah.
No, he
I
was
thought Mac
number.
Jones went in the first round.
No,
I
he was
thought.
number 15.
Oh,
New England grabbed him in the
okay.
first round. That's right. Yeah, he was the 5th quarterback taken because Justin was 11.
Okay.
We traded with Giants to take 11, and Mac Jones was taken 15 by the Patriots. So yeah, no, he wasn't. He was a first round pick. Yeah, he was a first round pick. But then again, he did play in the cushy Alabama system. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was getting ready. That's what I was getting ready to say. You alluded to Bill O'Brien. You were right there. Bill O'Brien was in Alabama the last couple of years, and I believe he had done some time there. No, he'd been there. He'd been in Alabama in the 2021 and 2022 seasons, and fans wanted him. Fans wanted him gone as soon as they had announced that he was coming to Alabama. To be completely honest, if you look at the progression of Bryce Young, if you followed him through college, those were his least productive years. And then he got the hook, and he went to Bill, and then Belichick picked him up, and you see what they've been dealing with. I think Mac Jones was definitely. I think Mac Jones was definitely more productive before Bill O'Brien got to New England.
To New England, yeah. Well, yeah, it would seem that way. Like this has to be his worst year so far, right? Like I don't have all the
100%.
stats, but like I gotta imagine he's really regressed. It seems like horribly. Like I mean, I don't think he was going to be great, but you thought he would be a good, serviceable quarterback in the NFL. And he's this year, like you said, I don't know what's happened to him, bro.
Yeah, he's not. He never was a world beater. He was one of the guys that found himself in the position of being on a team that was just ridiculously wealthy with talent. And they did win it. They did win a national championship. And of course, you know what comes along with that is the you reap the benefits. And so he got drafted really high. And he was a serviceable quarterback, and I thought he would do well with Belichick, and he did to a degree. But
this just makes me think more and more.
The regression is insane.
Go ahead, Tate. I'm sorry.
This is just giving me more and more ideas that I think Belichick will bring back Josh McDaniels. Because Josh McDaniels can actually teach quarterbacks. He worked with Brady. He worked with Garoppolo. He's worked with a number of. He can do quarterbacks. So you bring him back in, he might be able to turn Mac Jones around. I was wondering about Bill O'Brien. I thought he was the guy that was at Houston that got let go. So
yeah, he was.
Yeah,
he was with the Texans, and yeah, like you said, like Sean was saying, he traded Hopkins and J.J. Watt or whatever. So it's again going from a head coach back to a coordinator, and you just haven't done anything for this New England team, really. If anything, they should have fired him before they fired Ken Dorsey, but whatever. Again, I'll digress.
But also to
speaking
kind of go to the Sean's talking about having a QB be on a team with so much talent and not have it translate in the pro.
Yeah.
Okay. Little technical delay there. I mean, it makes me think that, like what Handy was saying, like he was on an Alabama team that had so much talent around him. He was more of a manager of the ball. He was getting the ball to here and there and all that stuff. He's more of a ball manager, not necessarily just insanely talented. And I think what happens in the pros is when you get those guys that are more ball managers, that's literally like throw it to wide receiver one, he'll get the ball, he's insanely talented, or you have a great running back, or those guys. Those cons get exposed in the NFL and in the pros. So he's not the first one we've seen it. We've seen a couple of others. I mean, Johnny Manziel comes to mind.
Baby.
Well, Johnny had some other issues, as we all saw in the documentary.
That's true too, but yeah, that's true. But yeah, no, definitely. No, I just, it's just so hard sometimes because you sit there and go, because then it's also, to me, it's a little harder to evaluate this person because you go, is he really that horrible? Or is he playing, is this play calling bad? Is it the system? Like, what is it that you regress so much, from one year to the next? Like, what is the issue? And so again, is it Bill O'Brien? Is it just Mac Jones in general? I mean, again, New England is 2-8 and not headed anywhere. Belichick could be out the door at the end of this year. So a lot of interesting stuff going on there in New England that I'll definitely be looking at, to see what happens there. Just to round out the top 5 of worst offenses, it was Carolina at 28. They're 1-8, of course. They get the aforementioned Bryce Young is their quarterback, but again, he's a rookie. It's his first year. Carolina sold off a lot, to get Bryce Young in that sense, with the Bears, that deal. So, Carolina is going to take their lumps probably for a couple of years until they can build up again and get some good players in there and, help Bryce Young out and, that sort of thing. Because I don't think Adam Thielen, no offense to Adam, is really going to be the answer for Bryce Young there. So a lot of work to do there in Carolina. But, yeah, so those are the 5 worst offenses right now. And, again, the coordinators, of course, we talked about Bill O'Brien, New England, Hackett in New York. We have Luke Getsy, which I'm not very happy with that guy, but that's another story for another time. The guy in New York is Mike Kafka. And then, of course, Carolina has Thomas Brown as their offensive coordinator. So, again, some bad offenses. We could see some more coordinator firings by the end of the year if some of these things continue. But for now, we're going to move on. We thank you for staying with us through the coin toss. Always appreciate it. We love being able to talk about our teams and get into other things as well. But we're going to move on to one of our segments now. We're going to move on to Tina. Tina, of course, every week with her corner office. So let's go to that.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the corner office. And it's going to be a little bit of a short segment today. But first of all, we're going to talk about the top 3 corners in the NFL. The top 2 have stayed the same. We have Deron Bland of the Dallas Cowboys, and he has 5 interceptions. Staying in second place is Paulson Adebo from the Saints with 4 interceptions. And Cincinnati's Cam Taylor-Britt has moved up into a tie for second and third with Adebo, and he also has 4 interceptions. I am currently working on a little segment that I'm going to start talking with a case that happened back in the 1950s. It's called Radovich versus the NFL. And based on that case, that was a case that ultimately said that the NFL was not considered to be exempt to the antitrust laws that have been put in place. And that decision rolled into a lot of the things that started happening through the NFL. It's kind of how we started getting the players' unions. It's how we started getting different contracts that rolled into what free agency happened. And so I'm going to be doing a multiple part series kind of going through some of this case law and how those things affected it. So starting next week, again, talking about Radovich versus the NFL, which is kind of interesting because he claimed there was collusion amongst all the NFL owners back in the 1950s, and he was trying to break that monopoly that they had. And there was a few other things. So it'll be an interesting place to start, and stick with me. And the reason I'm telling you guys about this now is if there's something you have a question about that belongs with like collective bargaining, the Players Association, the free agency, the strikes that happened, the NFL strikes we had in the 90s and in the mid and in the 80s, send those questions to me because I'll work it into the stuff I'm going to be talking about in the next coming weeks. So stick with me in the corner office, and I'll look into that. That was something I was thinking about talking about anyways, Sean, was why were they prevalent then and why don't we have them now? And I do believe that starts back with Radovich back in the 1950s. So, which was a Supreme Court decision. So, I actually studied it in law school, not for the NFL, but for other reasons that I won't get into because it's not very interesting to non-lawyers. So, but again, come back to the corner office next week and we'll start having some NFL legal history classes and TED Talks. Okay. That's it. We're done.
All right. Thank you very much. And yeah, I definitely look forward to the upcoming weeks with that. And just, Sean, you were talking about the 80s. I mean, they had 2 strikes within 6 years. So it was really nuts time in the 80s for all that for all that bargaining and all the contracts and all that stuff. So yeah, I definitely look forward to that segment, Tina. Well, right now, folks, we're going to give you a chance to catch your breath as we catch ours. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back. Take a look at this.
That's a W. Let's eat one. Let's eat one. That's a W. How many people want to eat a W tonight?
But they are who we thought they were.
Really?
Delilah Crespo is going to be hosting for Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable.
Yeah.
And Let's Talk Football, ladies.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Love that little montage we had there. Of course, that was Nathan Snell. Of course, Delilah. And of course, nobody can forget Dennis Green telling us who they thought they were. We could probably say that about a lot of teams this week. But let us move on. Of course, our next segment is one we always enjoy listening to because it involves the man of 1,000 voices. Well, I think they're all in his head. But anyways, let's go to Anthony Handy for the rookie spotlight, my friend. I'm telling you, coming out of his ear.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's been enjoying the show so far. Welcome to this week's Rookie Spotlight. I'm Anthony. I'm just plain Anthony today. Today's rookie comes to us by way of Rancho Cucamonga, California. The youngest of 4 children born on October 3rd, 2001. I'm going to get my AARP card tomorrow. That youngin'. The youngest of 4 children, had a little bit of a checkered past, not himself, but some family history. His father wound up doing some jail time but he did not let that affect him. He went on to, oh Lord, there's a whole lot of stuff about his pops here. We got to scroll down. If you scroll down halfway through the paragraph, it's like, ooh, they tell us where his dad is and all of that good stuff. Sorry about that. Not trying to make light of that situation there. The young man turned out to be all right. His senior year in high school, he was named Offensive Player of the Year by the local paper. 3,878 yards and 47 touchdowns. I'm pretty sure his arm is still tired behind all of that. He also was the MVP of the Elite 11 and selected to play in the 2020 All-American Bowl. You know what's funny is initially he was just a 3-star recruit. Just 3 stars, a whole 3 stars. Now, if you're a Michelin restaurant, that's very good. So that's what we're going to go with, is that rating. He finished high school as the 3rd highest rated quarterback in his class, wound up committing to Ohio State. I cannot believe I just did that. Sean, we're going to scrub that part. When you edit it later, you got to take that part out. Now I got to scream "Go Dogs" like every 5 minutes just to get the taste out of my mouth. Anyway, he is also one of his draft class brethren, Bryce Young. The two of them are actually best buds in real life. They went to rival high schools in Rancho Cucamonga. You cannot say that without rolling that R. as hard as you can. Rancho Cucamonga. I'm Michael Buffet tonight. Let's get ready to rumble. That's the other guy. Alrighty, they were both selected with the first 2 picks in the 2023 draft. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves. He wound up redshirting at Ohio State University as a backup to another premier quarterback in the league who currently is interning in Chicago and one Justin Fields. He only played 1 snap in all of 2020, and he scored a 48-yard rushing touchdown. He was named the starting quarterback after Fields' departure to the NFL draft. He was chosen over Kyle McCord. Oh, wow. Kyle McCord and Quinn Ewers. Both names we should recognize at this point. I believe Kyle McCord now the starting quarterback at Ohio State. Quinn Ewers in Texas. Don't mess with Texas. He wound up starting every game for the Buckeyes from that point moving forward. He was named the Big Ten quarterback of the year, yada, yada, yada. This kid had an absolutely phenomenal career. Let's just put it like that. He had an absolutely phenomenal career at Ohio State. He wound up finishing with a 21-4 record as a starter with 8,123 passing yards, totaling 102 rushing yards and a touchdown. But that's one of the things that I like about him, honestly, is, I mean, trust me, I'm not knocking the quarterback that can run. But that's the thing that a lot of the colleges are like, this kid can run and he can pass. He is more of a pocket passer, and he's a very good pocket passer. As Mr. OG Triple OG, Mr. Producer Man just put in the comment section, were it not for the sake of a field goal, he would be a national champion right now, right here, right now, as we're sitting here talking. A very good quarterback. Let's see. So he was picked with the 2nd overall pick in this past spring's draft from the Houston Texans. And since then has gone on to amass a 5-4 record. Okay. Now, those of you listening right now going 5-4, that's it. They're playing 9 weeks. He's so good. He should be like 8-1 or 9-0 or 7-2. Hell, I'll even take 6-3. Well, those of you saying that have not been watching Houston Texans football for the last several years. He has given this offensive spark. The team has rallied around him. He's had the most pass attempts without an interception to start his career. He's already setting records as a rookie. 192 pass attempts without an interception. Most passing yards in a single game by a rookie quarterback. That was just a couple of weeks ago when he threw for 470 yards. 470. That means they gave him 5 footballs. He threw 4 of them from one end zone to the other one. And the 5th one, his arm was just so tired, he couldn't get it but down to the 30-yard line on the other side of the field. He's got the most passing yards in a single game by a rookie quarterback. Most passing touchdowns in a single game by a rookie quarterback with 5. He's tied with Ray Buvid. I have no idea who that is. He played for the Chicago Bears many moons ago. He's still wearing the leather helmet. Matthew Stafford, Super Bowl winner with the Los Angeles Rams. Mr. Quarterback we saw just a minute ago, E.W. Jameis Winston, Deshaun Watson, and last but not least, Danny Dimes. And he's had the most games so far with at least 300 passing yards by a rookie with 3, tied with Killer Cam and Andrew Luck. So the kid can ball out. He's come in the league. He has kicked in the door. He has made his presence felt. He's made the Texans relevant in Houston again. The fans are really starting to love him. He's really patient. He's patient in the pocket. He's very patient in the pocket. He's not a very tall quarterback. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about his partner in arms. Mr. Young. He is 6'3". He is taller than me, so I'm just gonna shut up. And when I see him, I'm gonna call him sir. But patient in the pocket, accurate. He's a really and he's the thing about it is you can see him having fun on the sideline with his teammates, but on the inside, you can tell that he's got he's very humble about, he's not rubbing it in your face or that kind of. Y'all get what I'm talking about. He's not he's not brash and in your face with it. He's very humble about it. And I think that in and of itself is going to that plus his skill set, he's gonna have a long career ahead of him. I sincerely hope that the Texans do continue to keep that offensive line together. We see what happens to premier quarterbacks when they come in the league and they don't have an O-line. # Joe Burrow. But so I think that this kid, I say this about every single player that I preview, but honestly, these are the most talented football players in the country. I mean, in order to go to these D1, these premier D1 programs these kids go to, you have to be at the top of the top anyway. What you do when you get there, that's up to you, your coaching staff, that kind of thing. But these kids are already the cream of the crop already, and they only select a small number of them to go play in the league. And this kid has proven already that he's been worth the pick. Wish him really well. I wish him a lot of I wish him a long, successful career. The feud is over. The championship game is done. That's been a little while back. The feud is over. But ladies and gentlemen, this week's Rookie of the Week, the one, the only, I'm going to look up his full government issue, Coleridge Bernard Stroud IV, a.k.a. C.J. Stroud. And I have been Mr. Fingers with your rookie spotlight for this week. And back to you, Mr. I Want to Smoke.
Hey, well, thank you very much for that, Andy. Always appreciate the information that you provide. And yeah, C.J. Stroud and the Texans are playing very well right now, riding that big win over the Bengals this past weekend. So now, that's a very segue for me because the segment that was coming up next is mine. We got Nick's picks, and I'm going to go ahead and give you 4 games for you this week. I'm going to tell you what I think. Let's get it on. All right, so I got 4 games. This is Nick's picks. I got 4 games for you this week. Last week I went 2-2, which seems to be what I've been doing all season. Basically, just one of those things. I mean, the Jaguars really let me down and didn't score anything against the 49ers, and the Browns managed to pull out that game against the Ravens. So 2-2 last week. I got 4 new games for you this week, and I'm going to start with those upstart Texans, as it were. They have the Cardinals this week. Now, again, Kyler Murray did come back, which gives the offense a little bit of a shot in the arm. But I really like what Houston is doing now. C.J. Stroud is definitely, I think, on the rise, and I think the NFL itself has started to notice as the Texans are favored in this game. They're giving up 4 points to the Cardinals of Arizona. And so I'm going to take the Texans minus those 4 points this week against Arizona. My next game is a Super Bowl rematch on Monday Night Football. The Eagles, led by their center, Jason Kelce, who's become one of the most popular men on the planet outside of his brother, playing Kermit the Frog, as Tina likes to so elegantly call him, the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, of course, and his brother, Travis Kelce, again, Mr. Swift. Eagles Chiefs Monday night Super Bowl rematch, and the Eagles are the underdog going into this match, which I do find a little interesting given the records and given, I get it. Maybe people think the Eagles are bound for defeat, but it is a home game for Kansas City, so maybe that's why the edge is there. But in any case, I'm going to ride the Eagles +3. They're getting 3 points against the Chiefs, so I'm going to take the Eagles plus those 3 points. Next game, Ravens-Bengals. Yeah, Bengals kind of took one on the chin on Sunday to the old Texans, and the Ravens took one on the chin to the Browns. So we got 2 teams coming off a loss trying to rebound, and this ought to be a good one. These AFC North matchups seem to really, no matter what the records are, no matter what's going on, these guys play each other tough. It's just a tough division. All the teams as of right now, I believe, are 500 or better. So, yeah, you can't beat the AFC North right now. So Ravens, Bengals, but I'm gonna ride Lamar Jackson here. I'm very happy with the way that Baltimore's offense has come along. I know Lamar is much maligned, but I like the way he's playing. The defense is playing well. They're getting a combination of passing and running finally, where the offense is a little more balanced. So I'm going to take the Ravens. They are a favorite here. They're minus 3.5 points. It is a home game for Cincinnati, but the Ravens are favored. So I'm going to ride the Ravens minus 3.5 this weekend. And my last game, two teams that, I mean, as far as the Packers go, they haven't had a very good year. The Chargers just can't seem to get over that hump. And maybe it's because, they're still reeling from giving up a 27 or 27-point lead last year in that playoff game against Jacksonville. But they've just been all over the place this year. And, they lost that close game which probably was, I would have to think, one of the best games of last week in that Chargers-Lions game. Totally back and forth affair that anybody could have won that game. But Chargers came up on the losing end, and they get the old Green Bay Packers this week. And as we all know, I'm not much of a Packer fan, so I don't really care. But the Chargers go. Oh, listen, yeah, I know it's an AFC West team, so Tina's got to root against them. I get it; it's okay. I'm not going to hold that against you.
You root against the AFC North guys, so I'm sorry.
I like the AFC North. No, I don't. Anyways, no, I'm kidding. I like Lamar. I like the Ravens, but yeah, Chargers, Packers. Chargers are favored by 3. I think they can beat the Packers by 3. Keenan Allen had a really great game the other day. Justin Herbert can still sling the ball. I'm going to go. You still got Austin Eckler. The Packers don't really have anybody. Jordan Love is not playing at all. Yeah. You know what? Ab, you could be right, my brother. I mean, it would be hilarious if that did happen. I'm waiting. I welcome a tie. Like I said, I thought the one game the Bears were playing, I was like, wouldn't it be? Oh, when the Bears played Denver, I was like, wouldn't it be great, Tina, if this game just ended a tie because both teams were sucking at that point, and it would have just been poetic justice for the game to just end in a tie. But yeah, I am going to take the Chargers though, minus the 3 points. They're favored. I think they can beat Green Bay, even though the game's in Lambeau. It's still not extremely cold up there, so it's not like that's going to affect the Chargers from Los Angeles too much. So that's my picks for this week. Quick recap. Texans minus 4, Eagles plus 3, Ravens minus 3.5, and the Chargers minus Trey. So that's Nick's picks for this week. Follow along, and I'll let you know how I did next week. All right, so after that, we know that we've come, again, to the end of the road, as it were. Our final segment, as always, get it, Anthony. Go ahead. Come on, do it. We belong together. Everybody, come on.
You go on. It's
so natural. There we go. You belong to me. I belong to you. There he is. You know what's great about that? Like, no lie. Because all 3 of us use different, internets, of course, we're all in 3 different spots. When you watch that back, it's probably going to play like Anthony's singing one part, Tina's behind him, and then I come in behind her. So it'll probably sound really good when we watch this back. So that should be fun. But everybody's got that different level of but yeah, our last segment, as always, is one last thought. But we're changing it up a little bit. Normally, everybody would share a little something about their life or about this and that, and we thought we'd just try. I guess I should say, I brought this idea up to everyone of changing it a little bit, just to, sometimes we'd have trouble coming up with something to say every week because, we'd sometimes say the same thing or we had the same message or we want to just be encouraging. So we're going to try something different. I'm going to throw something out. We're going to discuss. That's going to be our one last thought this week. And of course, as always, I like to talk about things that can be kind of relevant. And I think one of the big issues, not issues, but one of the things a lot of people are talking about this year is the Tush Push. For those of you who may not know what that is a play that the Philadelphia Eagles have made famous. When they're on either the goal line or they need 1 yard, they decide to run the quarterback with everybody pushing behind him and pushing forward to get that yard or half a yard or whatever it is. Some people have complained about this. Some people have said it should be an illegal play, and that's probably because they can't do it. But many teams have tried, and you see it a lot more now. Everybody's trying the old Tush Push. Tina, I'm gonna start with you. Give me, what is your whole thought on this with this Tush Push? Should it be outlawed? What should the deal be here with the Tush Push?
If it was illegal according to the NFL rules, they wouldn't have been allowed to do it after the first time. So as long as the NFL says it's legal, fine, they can do it. It's not our fault. You guys can't figure out how we do it. That's my thought on it. Like, and I'm not an Eagles fan. I'm really not an Eagles fan, but
Right.
it's like everything Belichick did. Belichick was just a mastermind. He learned the rules. He learned what he could do and what he couldn't do. Philadelphia's figured out how to do it. It's not illegal. You want it to be illegal? You need to get the owners to go to the competition committee and the rules committee to get the rule changed. Until then, you know what? Tush Push is going to be there. Just deal with it, people. You just don't like it because your team can't figure out how to do it or do it themselves. So what's the difference? Okay, so just the only difference is like the sneak, the quarterback's doing that all himself. This is because they're pushing him forward.
Yeah, right, correct. At least that's my interpretation of what's happening. Right,
they're not just pushing them. I saw one time they showed the aerial camera. It was like
like they literally pick him up.
They grab his jersey. You know.
Yeah. I mean, that's just my thought on it. I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but that's the way it's kind of like when people complain about the pass interference calls and stuff. It's like, know you're going to get that call if you do that. That's stupid. Stop complaining about that. Okay. Yeah. So I have no problem with the Tush Push. Plus, also, I'm not gonna lie, I like Jason Kelce. He cracks me up.
Right. Like that's why he's such a likable guy. You're just like, come on, Jason, you're the man. Like this is great.
He's
but
teddy bear.
Yeah, so he is. And he was named one of the sexiest men in People magazine. So hey, how can you
Yeah.
But Ab kind of brings up a point, and because I do kind of feel the same way. Like this isn't Little League. You're all professionals. Stop it. If you don't like that they do it, then stop it. Find a way to stop the damn thing. Because
are there teams complaining about it too, or is it just the fans? Because
I think it's mostly fans.
I've seen mostly the fans.
Probably mostly fans. But I mean, there are other teams who have tried to do it and have not done it successfully. So you hear murmurings and rumors of like, oh, we should try to, there. Again, I don't know who said it specifically, but I know there was something they wanted to bring up at the end of the year when they have their rules committee and they meet and all that, and they, certain people have talked and brought the rumor up about it'll be one of the things they definitely discuss, and should it be outlawed, should it be allowed, that sort of thing. I mean, do you feel the same way, Handy? That's just, hey.
Absolutely not. It's just like, I mean, apples and oranges in terms of the sport, but it's just like right now, Simone Biles is by and large leaps and bounds the best gymnast in America. And there are coaches all over America trying to get the routines, the moves that she does, like on the vault and things like that, outlawed, like made illegal because none of their gymnasts can do it. It's the same thing. You're competing, and you know what? Every now and again, somebody comes up with something that, when it first comes out, is virtually unstoppable. And eventually the evolution of the game catches up, or people figure out how to crack the code, and then they figure out a way to shut it down. But in the meantime, just go ahead and hold this L while we drag our quarterback across your face mask and man up. It's football. I thought we were playing football. I didn't realize we were playing freeze tag. I mean, we playing freeze tag, that's different. We playing tackle football with pads on and make a lot of money to do it. Stop crying about it and go stop crying about it and hit him.
Figure out how to stop it. Figure out how you do this. Like, that's always the way it is. And I just hope that when... Yeah.
Totally. There was a time when they only ran the football there.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be a coach somewhere, somehow, is going to figure out how to stop Philadelphia Eagles on the Tush Push at some point. So I hope the owners in the competition committee don't outlaw it just because somebody's got their panties in a twist over it. So, and it's like the Wildcat. And you were talking about Simone Biles. She is just the epitome. I mean, she was genetically designed for gymnastics. She's just that naturally strong and that naturally talented.
I'm sorry, I had to laugh. It made it sound like you made her in the kitchen with the Bake Master 2000, just and a little picture of this, a lot of that. Voila.
I don't do this often, but one of my sorority sisters was Simone Biles' coach in Rio. And she
look at
said
this. She's
that.
throwing that big one out there just out of nowhere. Like, hey, excuse me.
Did she just hit me with the draw 4 card?
Well, she just
It's
trumped
my
all
only
of us with
card.
anything we could have said this week.
It's the only card I have. Okay.
We're not worthy.
However,
We're not worthy.
But what she said was that Simone she was just this peppy little kid, and she just kind of took her and molded her, and then she's also extremely focused and determined. She was determined to be number one in the world. But you're right.
That's what I heard.
Oh God, I'm gonna get so much trouble if my friend watches this.
I just remember it used to be an insult.
Yeah,
I can't even say it.
But it even gotten to the point where the Gymnastics Association was trying to make the rules harder for her. But it just was like what you said. What she could do, she was just so strong and so good at what she did. It was actually dangerous for other girls to try to attempt what she was doing. So it just creates this separation. She's up here and everyone's trying to get to her level. And she's just speed and stamina and everything. And that's the same with like football players.
Yep.
You just got to figure out some way. Like, do you make your guys bigger? Do you make your guys like, I don't know how much bigger you could make these defensive guys and these offensive guys. I mean, there's offensive guys that are 6'5" and way over 300 pounds. So
there was a time when if you were a guy that was that size, you weren't moving that fast. All you needed, like you had the smaller running backs like the Tony Dorsey. I mean, you still had the bruisers like the Franco Harris, but like a lot of running backs are smaller. All you had to do was outrun the D linemen. All you had to do now the D linemen are running 4 sub 5 second 40s. It's insane.
Yeah.
100%.
As the science in football gets better, the players it's a different kind of breed. It's a different kind of player and all of that stuff. So who knows? All it's going to do, complain all you want. It's still legal.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just NFL rule for you. Just saying, NFL. Simone Biles is at games because her boyfriend or fiance is on the Packers. And all you want to do is show Taylor Swift every time she goes to a Travis Kelce game. Maybe you should start showing Simone Biles, is all I'm saying. This lady is an Olympic athlete. She's a gold medalist. She's awesome. Anywho, I digress.
Yeah.
No more.
Like what you said, it can happen.
Right.
It can't happen. Yeah. I mean, my thing is at some point, you know when I think the Tush Push will end? When Jalen Hurts gets hurt.
Okay,
when
possibly.
Jalen Hurts gets hurt. When they're shoving him forward and they're pushing him forward and something happens, that's when the Tush Push is going to end. If it doesn't get out.
They'll just stop doing it. Right, exactly. Yeah. Good point, Tina. Very good point. Well, again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Ab in the comments, Sean in the comments. Sean, thank you again for producing for us. Again, we did miss Delilah this week, but I'm sure she'll be back with us very soon. But yeah, guys, another week has passed. We want to thank you for another episode of the Roundtable. I, of course, am Nick Rosario, but for Anthony Handy and Tina Winter, everybody have a great week. Again, it's the season. Thanksgiving is next Thursday. So as always, let us be grateful. Let us be thankful. And we'll see you next time. Everybody have a great night. Thank you very much.
Bye, everyone.